Come on.
This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
My man, Cole Goodwin, how are we doing on an early Monday morning, my brother?
Yeah, this actually is not as early as the mornings I've been used to recently, but doing great. Fighting allergies and making it. So
Yeah, you seem like the kind of guy that would get up early. Like if how old are you?
I'm 23 going on 74.
I was gonna say you are like when I think of like a southern man, like country, like God-fearing family man that goes out in the woods and isn't afraid to drink a cold beer, but goes out in the woods and kills shit and plays golf and does all that. Like you're the guy that I think of. Like when I think of like a
I will take
southern,
that as a compliment.
because I feel like there's 4 different kinds of like things in that realm. Like there's your rednecks and hillbillies. There's kind of like your very far out there, like the white trash kind of stuff. Then there's like country, and then there's like southern.
Yeah.
And when I think of a guy like you, I think of like southern and country with the redneck side if he needs it to be, you know?
That's right. You can turn it on and off. Or
Yeah.
maybe not turn it off, but you know, turn it down a little bit.
Yeah. So you're from I've said it on stage before when I've introduced you, but what's the town in Georgia?
Pooler, right
Pooler.
right outside of Savannah.
Right outside of Savannah, South Georgia boy.
South Georgia, southeast.
Tell us about your hometown. What's it like?
It used to be small town, textbook, you know, walk in Walmart and know everybody there. But it is recently turning into the new Savannah.
How so? What makes it
expansion, man?
What's the sign of like a small town becoming a big place?
I'll tell you.
What are the
I'll
signs?
tell you when I knew we were doomed whenever we got a Tanger Outlets. We got an outlet mall. And because we're right on the intersection of I-16 and I-95, two major interstates. And whenever they brought that, first it was Pooler Parkway, and then I remember when Pooler Parkway just had Walmart and Longhorn Steakhouse on it, and the rest was woods, and that was kind of my stomping grounds, me and my buddies, and then Pooler Parkway kind of expanded, and then whenever they cleared land to build the outlets and the Publix, then I knew that it was a change coming. So, and sure enough, it was, and we're giant now. So
Yeah, how many people are living in Pooler, Georgia? Because that's a town.
I say 35,000, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and it used to not be that way. So
Wow.
I think don't quote me on that. But
And then how far away is that from Statesboro? Because I know like Statesboro, Savannah aren't too far from each other.
So I can be from my parents' house to my house in Statesboro in 50 minutes. 40 if I really try.
Yeah, 40 if you're really.
It depends on how bad I want to get there. Yeah, but
For those who haven't been, I've talked about it a lot before. It's funny. Everybody's always like, "Bro, why are you talking about Statesboro? You didn't go there. You're from New York."
they don't know, dude.
Like I've been there enough to like see it. How would you describe Statesboro, Georgia, to an outsider, to somebody who hasn't been?
Well, I think kind of like anywhere, it kind of depends on who you get wrapped up with and kind of what you get wrapped up doing. But because see, I've got family in Statesboro, so I've been going to Statesboro since I was a baby, and you know, we do Thanksgiving in Statesboro and stuff. So I get to see the tame, you know, easy living side of it, and I also get to see the college side of it. But man, it as far as the college life there goes, you just gotta. I think you have to get in it to kind of be able to describe it and just feel it out, because it's wild.
It's just,
and I don't know. I'm not necessarily a wild child, or you know.
No, you'll have a good time though.
Totally.
You're the guy at the party that's initiating the good time, not by drinking and saying something stupid, but by being the guy in the room with the guitar that everybody is listening to.
Well,
that strikes me like you know, like that's your kind of involvement in that world, right? Is being the guy playing.
I'm a low key dude.
Or playing at social, or playing at whatever frat house, or doing any of that stuff. So it's like you get to be kind of the centerpiece of the right. Because what blew me away is just how much live music, especially country music, is appreciated in that small college town.
Oh yeah. And to think, you know, because when you look at Athens has what? God knows how many bars.
It's like 60 or 70.
Yeah, and we played Athens Saturday, and you know, God knows how many bars and bands and jam bands, and everywhere you turn, you know, there's music going on. There's only really like 3-4 places in Statesboro that even host live music, and everybody loves it. So
yeah, well, I feel like there's only 3 or 4 places that are in Statesboro, right?
Yeah.
Because it's what? It's Blue Room,
Southern Social, Nat's Landing. They do the acoustic thing. They have bands every now and then.
Yeah.
But and then newer place, Nona Peachy in front. It's like a pizza place, and then Nona's Garage in the back. They have like outside, like arcade, outside bar, another outside bar, big stage, and AstroTurf with tables and stuff. It's really cool. We played there Thursday night. Actually, it's a cool place.
But yeah, there's only the 4 places, but every place does live music.
Yeah, and everybody likes it. So even the little restaurants, there's a little place, Dolan's Barbecue, one of my favorite places to eat ever. They they have live music like 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week. But yeah, everybody loves it there.
Yeah, it's just in the water. Like it's just and the history.
Yeah, and good stuff comes from Statesboro, man.
Yeah, dude.
Proof's in the pudding.
I mean, yeah, literally. It's like you can't talk. I always say it, and people are always like, "Why are you so passionate about Statesboro?" I'm like, you gotta go down there, and you'll fucking understand. Like you can't talk about country music in the last 20, 30 years without talking about that small town. Not even in between. It's like a triangle, like I say, of like just degeneracy and just but mixed in with like good-hearted people, like just wild stuff. You've got your Statesboro, you've got your Valdosta, and you've got your Tifton. Mm-hmm. And those three, to me, are like a triangle of just chaos. Yeah. Some of the wildest nights that I've ever had as a tour manager have been in those kind of towns. But guys, like there's a wave coming up right now, and it's really cool to see coming out of South Georgia. We were put on you by, I was going to ask, I already know this isn't your first podcast. This is probably like your 20th podcast.
No, man, actually, I don't do a whole bunch of them.
Well, I'm saying the Josh Terry show.
Oh, yeah.
You've done that.
JT. Yeah. Which,
by the way, if people have not checked out the Josh Terry with Cody Wolf episode, all time, I give Josh a lot of credit for doing that. And Josh is the guy that put how we met
us
you.
In touch. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because he's champion bringing guys up like yourself, like your good buddy Will Mosley, like
Wilbur.
your good buddy Riley Anderson,
yeah.
And then there's just a scene coming out. Like since I've been in town, thinking of the guys and girls that have come out of Statesboro, because I moved here 2018.
Oh, really?
So I moved here at the same time as Dylan Marlowe.
Yep.
I moved here right about the same time. Shortly after I moved here was when Brian Fuller got here.
I know Brian.
Yep.
I know Brian really
That's
well.
when Brian got here. Trey Landon had already been up here. And then shortly after that, Bryce Leatherwood comes up here. And it's like there's just this chain, now this new wave of guys like yourself.
I'm still dating Nashville. I'm not here yet. But.
Yeah, I know. I know you're not here yet. But I mean, but guys that are starting to pop up in the scene here.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know?
I feel plugged in here. I do.
No, you definitely are.
Yeah.
You are for sure. And it's like guys like you, Will. Is Riley from that South Georgia area?
Yeah, he's from like Southwest Georgia.
Oh, closer to Bama.
Forgive me, Riley, if I got that wrong, but yeah, I think he's like maybe somewhere down here.
Okay,
but
yes,
in relation to me,
another South Georgia guy, and then you've got like what Gavin and Landon are doing, like Gavin Adcock and Landon Smith. Like and then there's kids behind you guys that you're like are gonna blow our socks away.
Dude, I gotta give a shout out to one of my buddies, Ben Bates. You
have been talking about this kid
a
lot. He was on the show with you this past weekend.
He opened
right?
2 shows for us this weekend, dude. He's a nut. He's only, I think he's 20, and he's like 6'10", I feel like.
Oh
he's
wow!
Giant, but not that tall. But yeah, just a super good dude. Way wise beyond his years, and very like in his own lane. I mess with him all the time. I call him a miniature Evan Felker. He's like. Very much traditional, like kind of Americana country. Like I don't know, it's good. I like him.
How do you describe the different things of country music? Because you're definitely in that traditional lane, and you've gotten to go on tour with the guy who's kind of at the forefront of the traditional lane, Mr. Zach Top, which we saw Zach at the Exit In this past week for that release show. And oh my Lord,
unreal.
He played. Like, we've seen him. We were lucky. We got in early on Zach. Mm-hmm. We had Zach on. The Raise Rowdy podcast with Nick and Kurt about a year ago. And I remember sitting on Nick's back porch roof thing that he's got at his house, which you know, because you record over there.
Yeah.
And we were sitting out there having cigars after. And Zach just has this energy to him where you're like, this guy just has superstar written all over him. Like he knows
what he wants. He knows what he's going for, and he knows how to achieve that, and he sticks to it. And that's what I respect about him the most is that he knows exactly what he's doing.
And you're learning a lot being on the road with him. And you've gotten to go to different parts of has it been mostly just the Southeast or have you
mostly Southeast, which has kind of all happened fast. It's actually funny. I was talking about this with my family this weekend. because we played Wendell's with him.
Oh, I love Wendell's.
Friday night.
Shout out to Jackie and the folks at Wendell's.
It was crazy, but
that little dance hall.
Man, 3 months ago, he had no idea who I was. I knew I was a fan. I'm still a fan of his, but I was a fan of his first. And whenever the TikTok thing kind of started happening, and I started teasing the single that's coming out in April or this month. People started tagging him in my stuff, and then I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then the guys over at Peachtree put me on 2 of his shows, and we met there, and we've kind of just hit it off from there. And he's texted me and asked me to come out to do some other shows with him. And yeah, man, he's so easy to get along with, such a nice dude. And like I say, I got nothing but respect for him and his craft.
Another young guy that's an old soul.
Well, and it's funny, actually, I have it on my phone. This is this is super cool, actually. This is the power of social media.
Yeah.
Curse and a blessing.
It is.
December 1st is when I posted that video, the song that I wrote. Somebody commented, at Zach Top, hit this man up. And then the same guy commented Friday night and said, love the way this aged. I'll be seeing you on tonight in Anderson. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is amazing.
So, yeah, but yeah, man, it been blessed lately. So
you talk about like the different like traditional styles of country music, like, because there is like that Americana world that folks dip into, and that you have like your Zach Bryans and like your sad shit, and then you have, which is kind of like a little rootsy in that it's got that, it's mostly that acoustic like storyteller stuff, like goes back to the roots of country music. And then you have your like key change 90s 80s style of country music, which is where like
twangers,
which is where you and Zach and those guys fall in. Like, it's got to be a cool time to be coming up and like having your moment.
Yeah, well, I don't know about having my moment yet, but
well, I would say the rocket ship is that's like the point where I see you. It's like the fire is starting to light up underneath the rocket, and the smoke's going, and it's just getting ready to take off.
Thank you.
That's
man.
where I see like yourself. Honestly,
thank you. Really, it's definitely a grind, and everybody told me, if this is something you want to do, be ready to work twice as hard as all your friends, and take twice as long to see results. But man, it's been really cool lately, and obviously there's always a long way to go, but it's like I say, been pretty overwhelming the past couple months with the things that have been happening, because 6 months ago I wasn't doing near the stuff. I mean, I've been doing the whole music thing for 3 years now, and really grinding at it as much as I could while I was still in college. But man, now that school's been out and I've graduated, it is definitely just a non-stop grind, and but it finally feels like the wheels are starting to turn. So like, it's really cool.
Yeah, dude, and you've had music out for quite a while.
Yeah,
now.
It's been a minute since we released anything. I released an EP, 5 songs that I wrote back in March, end of March last year, so 2023, and I haven't released anything since then until the 19th. So.
And it's like can you feel the change in the production and just the growth of your songs and as a writer and everything?
Totally. Yeah, and I which the EP that I put out, all those were like, I think 2 of those songs of the 5 were old songs, but the rest of them I like just kind of accidentally wrote in like 2 days time, and they all kind of ended up making that project. But yeah, shout out Ryan Yeomans, because he absolutely murdered the 5 that we just did with him.
Ryan is one of my favorite producers in town.
Yeah,
and obviously I've got a lot of connections to him. He's kind of our landlord
Yeah.
at our Raise Rowdy office, the house of Nikki T, and Muscadine Bloodline and Tyler Lassard. Ryan has a great ear for stuff.
He does,
and knows how to work with independent artists and really collaborate on the sound.
Once again, proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the song, dude. Ike's been telling me all about it too.
Thank you. Oh, Ike, Ike shot the cover for it. When was that? Must have been last month.
Some content.
We knocked it all out in like an hour. He's the man.
We call him our content prince.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And it's fun bringing him out on the road and like bringing him into like different bars and stuff, because it's like Ike has it in him to like be a little bit of like a party guy, but he's so like quiet,
reserved,
and just chill. Yeah, reserved. Like you'll just see him.
He doesn't really get rattled about anything.
No, he really doesn't. Like we'll go, like we've got our time on the road starts this week. We're going to Athens.
I came from there yesterday.
The Georgia Rodeo.
Oh yeah.
So it's Hardy, Young Gravy, Castellos, and Gavin. And we're bringing Ike with us to that. And we always we have to get to town the day early, like a day ahead of time, to set up at the fairgrounds. And it's like the night before, we'll go out in Athens.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll bring Ike out.
Oh, generals.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to ask you because I've been to Athens. I've done shows at the Gath. I've done shows at, it was Hedges. And then what the heck did it change the name to? It was another bar. I forget the name of it.
I don't know.
It used to be called Hedges. But
I'm not
it's
as
something
familiar
else.
with Athens.
Yeah.
I have a sister that goes there. But
Yeah.
I'm never in Athens for longer than like 24 hours.
Yeah,
48 hours.
So we're gonna hit that, and then the following week, and then next week we go to Auburn.
Oh, cool.
It'll be the 4th Auburn rodeo that
Yep.
I've been to, and we go to Sky Bar the night before.
Oh Lord, that
And
place! I've heard that. I've never been there, but I've heard that place is absolutely massive.
dude, it's like you take Social and you take Blue Room and make it into one building.
Really?
Yes, it's the biggest bar in the South.
What they have? What's called the Boom Boom Room or something?
The back room is a big stage, and it's crazy. They don't do original music back there, which breaks my
Really?
heart. Yeah, it's all cover bands. So it's like Velcro Pygmies. It's
Oh,
like,
hey, well, they're pretty sick.
yes,
they're
it's
pretty good.
it's,
Yeah, they're
it's
pretty sweet.
high. It's like a Broadway cover band with very high production, and then
Really?
they switch to a DJ, and it's like a club, and there's
And
a
then
big balcony looking over. So Ike and I and myself, me, Ike, and Nikki, when we go down there, we stay up on the balcony and we just kind of look over at
People
the
watch?
chaos. Oh, dude.
Dude, see, that's what, I don't like being in the chaos. I like watching the chaos from a distance.
Yes, like being up in like the sound, being up in like
Yes.
the booth at the Blue Room or something
Exactly,
like
and
that.
I'm I don't know if we've ever seen each other at Blue Room. I know we've seen each other in Statesboro, but you won't catch me on the floor in Blue Room anymore. I'm always just like keeping an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out and do that. But it's funny because like Ike will just start like bobbing his head. Like I'm like I'm like we got
He's
we got
locking in.
we got him a few beers deep. Like Ike's feeling good, and it's a lot of fun. It's cool that you work with like that. Our paths cross so much with
Yeah.
like the guys that you're working with as you're coming up right now.
Yeah,
too.
totally. Small. Well, I've learned really quickly that Nashville is giant, but Nashville is tiny.
Yeah, the music
If that
community.
makes sense, yeah.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody I meet, I'm like, oh, do you know so and so? Yeah, I know so and so.
Yeah.
So really cool.
And especially being a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
Like there's so many guys because it's like a big fraternity, especially like the Georgia boys, and you've gotten to meet a lot of these guys now that have been doing it for a while, right? Like
Yeah.
like the Cole Taylors.
Yeah.
Like
I wrote
that
with,
world.
wrote with Cole last month.
Which to me, that's the perfect guy for you to be right with. Because that's
Hey,
who
double
you
Cole
remind.
action.
You remind me a lot of him, not just because of your first name, but like you remind like in that kind of world. Like there's so many different flavors of what's going on in Georgia right now, and it's like you're the guy that I could see out on the golf course playing 18, fucking around.
Well, I usually make it about 14 and then I'm done. But yeah, I do enjoy going and hanging out on the golf course. I'm just not much of a golfer, but
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, I try to be, and I feel good about it on the way there until I take like 3 swings and then.
Where was the last place you played in Nashville? Because I know
Actually, I've never played a round of golf in Nashville. When I've had like an hour downtime while I've been in town before, I've gone like hit on driving range or whatnot. But I've never played an actual round of golf in Nashville.
Wow.
But I'm playing actually with Josh Terry, playing a golf tournament with him on the 29th of this month, I think.
Oh, nice.
Up here somewhere, Old Hickory maybe. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
There.
That's a nice golf course.
They probably won't like me.
It's gonna be you and Josh. Who else? Do you know who else is in that?
I'm not
foursome?
sure. I'm not sure. It's I think it's Creative Vets or
Oh,
something. or
nice.
something
Yeah,
that
that's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm on his team, but
The Josh.
I don't
Terry
think
team at
I don't know if he
Creative
knows. I don't know if he thinks I'm good or something. But
Yeah, he might just think like, oh, Cole's
this
gotta
might be like
good.
my one and done year with him doing this. whenever he sees me, I don't know. We've played together before. We played in Alabama. We played actually the nicest golf course I've ever played. I've been with Josh. We played Gunnersville in Alabama back in the fall with Ike. Actually, me and Will Mosley flipped a golf cart that day.
Oh,
on accident.
no.
Yeah, we screwed around all day, like drifting and trying to jump stuff and just being menaces. And the last hole, it started like drizzling rain,
Yeah.
and it was freezing cold. And we were like, all right, let's go back. We're hungry. Let's leave. So we were actually being serious trying to get back. And it comes down this hill, cart path does, and at the bottom of it, it splits 90 degrees both ways. And you can either hang a right, hang a left. There's a giant pine tree at the bottom of it, and then it drops off like 30 feet onto like tee box. So we come down the hill, and I like tapped the brake, and I guess it was so slick it didn't break. It just started sliding. So I kind of looked at Will, and we're like, what do we do? So I was like, I can either jump it off of this ledge, hit this pine tree, or just turn and pray. So I turned and prayed, and instead of it turning, it just locked them, and we flipped it and slid down the hill. You can imagine how tiny I am and how big Will is. We just slid down the hill together in a golf cart, and we came to a stop at the bottom, and he was like, "Dude, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Flip this thing before anybody sees us." So, yeah, that one. We didn't do that though. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. How did you first meet Will?
So me and Will, we graduated together from Georgia Southern. He was a marine biology major, I'm pretty sure. I was a marketing major, so we didn't have any classes together. But he started, kind of playing around bars, and I was doing the same thing. And my buddies knew him, and his buddies knew me. So eventually, it was like, "Oh, you need to meet my buddy Will," or "Oh, you need to meet my buddy Cole." And I think the first night we really hung out, I went and saw him play at that place, Dolan's Barbecue. Went and saw him play there one night, and I think he showed up to a place I was playing, and then one night we ended up sitting by a fire together with like 20 people and trading songs, and from there we hit it off, and now he's one of my best buds. Actually, I talked to him last night. One of my best buds. We wrote the single that's coming out that I'm releasing on the 19th. We wrote that together. So
yeah, and he's obviously going through a lot of career stuff right now with Idol.
Yeah, he's doing the thing, man.
That's got to be crazy. What was it like watching him on
pretty
TV
cool.
and getting them highlighting his backstory? Like, they don't
pretty cool.
feature
They
just
make him look.
everybody
They make
on
him
it.
look good. They make him look really pretty on TV. It's really cool. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm so excited for him, and if anybody deserves it, it's him. He's good as gold. So
Yeah, and both of you guys getting to kind of come up at the same time.
yeah,
And have this buzz.
yeah. Well, and it's really cool too because literally exact same timeline from graduation. I think we graduated the same week. We've been every time I'm in Nashville, he's in Nashville, except for recently. But we kind of been side by side doing this thing together. And if I've got a question about something, it's, "Hey, Will, have you experienced this yet?" Or "What do you think?" Or "Hey, have you ever met with so and so?" Or that kind of thing. So we get to bounce ideas off each other and just kind of ask each other for advice. I'm sure he'll probably say the same thing. I don't know anything, man. I'm winging it, but it's always good to have somebody I can ask, that maybe has been through that already. But yeah, totally.
Yeah, and how is it different now? What was your first trip to Nashville? Was it with Josh?
First trip to Nashville was a few years ago. Actually, I came and I had a couple old songs that I was thinking about recording and did them acoustic. Ended up not liking them, but that was my first. I came here for like 4 days with my family, and it was very eye opening, very cool. But I ended up not even liking the songs, so I didn't release them. And then I came back middle of last year, maybe the year before, and played one of Josh's rounds. And I think I've been coming every month since then. So I'm up here usually like the first week of every month. I'll get in on Sunday night and stay till I have to leave on Thursday to go play somewhere. So
Yeah, where are you going? Do you know where you're going this weekend?
yeah, so we've got I'll be here till Thursday, leaving Thursday morning to go play Eddie's Attic in Decatur with Peyton Smith. Then we've got Zydeco Friday night in Birmingham, and then Doolin Halls in Jackson, Mississippi on Saturday.
Have you been to Dueling Hall before?
And I've never been to Mississippi. So
Oh, you're gonna like it.
I heard there's good turkey hunting in Mississippi.
Yes.
So
Yes, I've heard that as well. I don't know shit when it comes to turkey hunting.
dude, I saw a turkey in somebody's front yard on the way here this morning and almost ran off the road. So yeah, I'm full-fledged turkey.
Have you
season
gotten to
right
meet
now.
the Muscadine guys yet?
I have not.
Because
I heard they're absolute turkey slayers.
Gary is. I think they take a break. I think they're off the road right now for a little while because it's turkey season.
Really?
And Charlie will go and kill some turkeys as well. But Gary, I think, has killed turkeys. It's got to be double digits now in terms of states. Like
Really?
Last year he traveled to New Jersey. He did the whole Northeast. And he was killing turkeys in like Maine, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey.
Dude, I'll start shaking, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
I've never killed one out of state. Never killed one out of the state of Georgia. But I'm addicted to it. I'm fairly new to it. I've only been doing it 3-4 years. But dude, it's like I tell people it's the only legal drug you can do. It's insane.
Is turkey hunting versus deer
Dude,
hunting. Why turkey hunting instead of deer hunting? Because I've never done it.
I'm a massive deer hunter too. But I grew up deer hunting, so I've deer hunted my whole life. That's what my dad did. My dad never thought about a turkey, and that's why I never got into turkey hunting. But I don't know. I love deer hunting as much as turkey hunting. I'm just glad I don't have to choose. I'm glad one's in the fall, one's in the spring, because I'd be torn.
But what is
really.
it about turkey hunting being the
Dude,
drug?
I think just it's a very vocal style of hunt. You're listening for that gobble or listening for hens or whatever. Man, it's visual and it's vocal and it's ground level. You got to get them. I mean, the whole purpose of turkey hunting, I think, is get them inside 40 yards. If you can fool one of the smartest birds, one of the smartest animals in the Southeast to come think you're a hen, within 40 yards and shoot them, I think it's awesome. That's that's what gets me going.
That's great. I want to get out there and go hunting. I've never been.
Next time you're in Statesboro.
Never. Oh, dude.
If you make it to Statesboro before the second weekend in May, call me. If I'm in town, we'll go.
If I could kill it, that'd be a full circle Statesboro moment for me.
I took my sister last weekend opening day. She killed one at she doesn't understand this because it was on her second time going turkey hunting, but she anything you could dream of to go right on a morning in the turkey woods went right, and got it all on video. 15 yards, heard 6 different turkeys, saw 2 different longbeards. She killed the boss tom at 15 yards, shot him off the hen decoy. I'm like, Allie, you don't get this. This doesn't happen. But
that's awesome, and you're very close with your family. That's something that I've noticed that. And I'm very close to my family too, and the family unit is so important, especially in this world that we're in.
Yeah, man.
In being in country music and Nashville and all of that stuff. So you've got how many siblings? You got? Is it the 2 sisters?
Yep. So I've got twin sisters. They are sophomores in college. One's at Georgia, and one's at Georgia Southern. Actually, the one at Georgia, Allie, she helps me with a ton of stuff. She's a music fanatic, but more so she can sing. She just won't. Both of them can sing. They just won't. But she's more so very into the behind the scenes stuff, business promotion stuff. But yeah, she's taking classes in the music business program at Georgia and working an internship at the Classic Center there. So
nice.
She's all into it, loves it. But yeah, 2 sisters. So shout out Allie and Lexi.
What's the age difference?
So 4 years. I was a senior in high school when they were freshmen.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've got a brother and sister that are twins.
Oh really?
That are
I didn't know that.
2 years younger than me.
Oh really, dude?
So I get the whole the double trouble thing and all of that. It's a little different because for me it's one's a brother, one's a sister.
Are they identical or fraternal?
They're fraternal.
Okay, mine too.
They're fraternal.
Actually, me and Lexi, the younger twin, we look more like twins than her and Allie.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like me and my sister Julie look more like that.
Really?
And my brother Chris is blonde hair, blue eyes. It's funny. Yeah. It's funny how that works. But yeah, and then your family they seem to be very supportive with you coming up here and join you on a lot of these trips and make it
man, they followed me around all week. Actually, I've got my folks back in Savannah and Pooler, my family friends, my parents' friends that they grew up with, dude, they are so supportive of me and I can't thank them enough. They followed me around all weekend this weekend. I came to Statesboro, played Statesboro Thursday night, came to that, followed me up to Wendell's, came to Wendell's. We had 15 people come from Savannah, and then trucked it over to Athens last night was it yesterday, Sunday?
Yesterday was Sunday.
Okay, Saturday night we played Athens. They came to that too, man. 3 nights in a row, all over the place. It wore me out. I know it wore them out. So, man, like I say, I've been very blessed.
I mean, they came all the way up here to watch you. They come up to watch you play the stuff at Live Oak, to watch you play Whiskey Jam, to watch you play our stuff over at Winners.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool. Yeah, actually, Whiskey Jam, they were here. Yeah, that's right. They were here last time I was up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because we left, thankfully they were here because I don't know if I'd have made it. We played Whiskey Jam that Thursday night, and then we left Nashville at midnight and drove
how'd that
to Gainesville,
go?
Florida. I
haven't really talked to you since.
It's been busy.
How was that whole 24 hours and getting down there? Obviously, you made it down in time.
Yeah, we did. I swore I was going to sleep on the way there, and I didn't. I don't know. I can't sleep in a car. But, yeah, we left here about midnight and made it to Macon. My grandparents live in Macon, so we did stop in Macon for 3 hours, 4 hours, and took a little nap. And then made it to Gainesville, Florida by about 4 o'clock. And it was great. It was awesome. Sold out in Gainesville with Zach Top. And made it home. Then actually, we left Gainesville that night after the show and got back to Savannah at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'm one of those guys that likes to, if I have the option to just leave and – if anything, if it's within a 5-hour radius, even if it's within a 6 or 7 hour radius, I've just done so many late night drives.
Let's roll.
Where
Nobody's on the road.
I'm let's just go. Especially coming up this week, Ike and I are the one. It's Nikki and our friends Danielle and Jessa who help us with selling merch. They're going to be in Nikki's vehicle because we have to take 2 vehicles to bring all of our shit down there. And they'll come back the day after. They'll for sure stay, get the sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But Ike will look at me and be like,
let's roll.
We doing this?
Yeah.
And because Ike's down to.
I'm a homebody, dude. I like to get home.
Yeah, I like to sleep in my bed or sleep in my girlfriend's bed and just be here in town. And it's Ike will sit in the front seat. He'll stay up with me the whole time and he'll just edit on his computer. He'll have his hotspot or whatever. and he'll just be sitting there editing all the video stuff from the event that we're leaving, and then have all the videos done
Next day,
that night. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all about. Well, I say I'm all about productivity, but I will procrastinate some. But yeah, man, I figure just roll. You know, I would rather drive at night. Nobody's on the road.
Yeah,
So
especially going.
I can run 115 miles an hour.
Especially coming from Athens, where you got to go through Atlanta.
Oh my
I'd
gosh,
much
dude.
rather go through Atlanta at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning than 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Totally.
Like, I'd much rather.
Especially
do that
most of
shit.
those days are on like a Sunday. You know, after a Saturday
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
so-
This would be for Georgia. It would be coming back on a Friday night.
Oh, okay.
So for the Georgia rodeo, it'll be coming back on a Friday night
Yes.
after that. But we got to see how the traffic is coming out of that festival too. 'cause
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of these events, it's like you have to wait 2 or 3 hours after the event just to get out of the damn parking lot.
Exactly.
You know? It's
Totally.
chaos and craziness. You're a big coffee guy?
Recently, yes. I've always liked coffee. Usually I just drink coffee during deer season in the wintertime when it cools off. But man, anymore, I have like 4 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
Yeah, that's where I'm at. is
all
like
black though. I don't spice it up or
Really?
anything. Yeah, drink straight black.
just black from the gas station coffee.
Yeah, well, that's from the Christian Chicken. That's from Chick-fil-A. But yeah,
The Christian chicken. See, I call it the Lord's chicken.
Oh really? Yeah, I call it both. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't. It's funny. I didn't really get to experience Chick-fil-A a whole lot until I moved down here.
Really?
We have it in the Northeast a lot more now, but when I first was moving down here, we didn't have it in
Dude,
New York, New Jersey.
I,
we didn't have it as much as they have it down here. Obviously,
I used to kind of talk down on it. Not like I used to not eat it a lot, and and where I'm from, we have an Arby's and a Chick-fil-A right next to each other. And every day I'd go, the Chick-fil-A line would be wrapped, 3 times around, and nobody be at Arby's. And I'd always talk trash, be like, oh, no chicken's worth waiting in a line that long. I'm going to Arby's. And then I started eating it, dude. I go like, dude. The other day, I swear, I ate it for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
wow.
Yeah, and I've done that multiple times.
I'm hoping you have the app on your phone.
I didn't for the longest time, and then my mom introduced me to it. And now that I found out you can win milkshakes,
Oh, bro, the
Dude,
points.
I'm doomed.
The points change everything.
dude, and I'm addicted to their. Have you ever had their cookies and cream milkshake?
No, I don't normally get the ice cream with milk.
And anybody that's watching this that knows me, they're probably like, oh god, here he goes. But dude, I'm telling you, you got to.
What's your order at Chick-fil-A for breakfast this morning? What are you getting?
I got a chicken biscuit with honey and hash browns and a
Okay.
coffee, black coffee.
And then are you a nuggets guy, a sandwich guy? Do you get
Most time sandwich. Most time I get number one, no pickles, because I despise pickles.
no
But-
pickles.
Yeah, I know.
You
hate
know
me.
they brine the chicken in pickle juice.
I know.
Right?
Well, I found that out. Yeah, but I don't know if I can stay away from pickles. I'm going to. But yeah, I get the number one, no pickles.
That's crazy. to
Barbecue
me.
sauce. Have you ever had their barbecue sauce?
Yes,
Off the
I'm
chain.
a Chick-fil-A sauce guy. Like I have
Really?
to do the Chick-fil-A sauce for.
I don't mind it, but dude, the barbecue sauce. I'm a barbecue sauce connoisseur, man.
Really?
Oh, dude.
So where's the best?
I don't eat enough of it. I don't eat enough different ones anymore to know to put my finger on. Oh, that's the one. But because I always end up grabbing stuff. Man, I eat way too much fast food anymore.
Well,
Just
yeah,
being on the
'cause you're
go.
fucking traveling,
And that's why,
Yeah.
and that's why Chick-fil-A
Duh.
is like, I end up eating Chick-fil-A so much because it's just a safe bet.
And
you
they
know?
have it everywhere, especially
Yeah.
while you're touring the Southeast. Every college town in the Southeast has a Chick-fil-A and a Chipotle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every single one.
And if you gave me the option, I'm going to Chick-fil-A every time.
Yeah.
Between those two. So, no offense to Chipotle. I'm a Chick-fil-A dude.
How many Sundays have you just craved it and just wished
Yesterday.
it was open? Yeah.
On the way up here, dude, I was about to get off of an exit. I saw a sign, and then it hit me. I was like, God, I'm losing track of my days again. But yeah, man, I've pulled all the way in the drive-thru before and been like, wow, they're not busy right now. And like, oh, it's Sunday. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. But no, man, yeah, I love it.
It happens. Are you a big sports guy?
I used to be. I grew up playing baseball. From t-ball all the way to high school, tournament baseball year-round, all over the place, every single freaking weekend. And that's where I met some of my absolute best friends was doing that back home. And got burnt out on it, man. Whenever I figured out that I could play guitar and a piano and figured out that I could go deer hunting and fishing on the weekends instead of being on a baseball field every weekend, it was baseball kind of got put on the back burner. And then I was just, a baseball fan for a while.
Yeah.
and
Do you still follow it?
I try to, man, but anymore, I'm just so big. Like, I got to watch, I think, one Georgia Bulldog football game this past fall. It's just, the weekends anymore are definitely shot. And,
Yeah.
and even during the week anymore, it's like I said, it's such a grind, man, and trying to stay busy doing all this. It easy to kind of let that stuff get lost. So I'll see highlights and stuff. I'll YouTube the Braves highlights and stuff. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, I'm not really plugged in
See,
anymore.
I pay for the MLB TV
Oh, really?
to watch all the Yankees games.
Okay. I forgot you're a big Yankees fan.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, we got the fucking bobbleheads right
Oh,
here.
yeah, here I am looking at them.
I'm diehard. Like, if there's one team that I could watch, like I like my hockey and my football and all of that stuff. Like big, like New York Giants, like New York Rangers. Obviously, love that the Rangers and the Knicks are playing well right now. But if there's one team I could watch for the rest of my life, it would be the New York Yankees.
Really? You a big
Yeah.
basketball fan?
I mean, I enjoy it.
I'm not.
It's been tough.
I never got into it.
Yeah, like the NBA, like they always say, like New York when, because I was born in '95, so it's like '94. The Rangers won the Stanley Cup for hockey. The Knicks were in the finals for basketball, and then since then, like the Rangers have been to the Cup, I think once or twice since then. The Knicks have just been, since like the year 2000, have just been complete and utter dog shit for a long. It used to be like people wearing bags over their heads at the games, like get rid of the owners. Like the Knicks were bad for a long time, but people would always say that New York is a basketball town, and
Really?
I'm like, how could it not be like a Yankees town or a Mets town or this or that? But the energy that is in New York City right now with the Knicks, it is crazy.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah, I never really got into basketball. I know everybody's been going crazy over the March Madness stuff, but I don't know,
Just
never really
not
got
your
interested.
thing.
Baseball, I like baseball and football, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, it was funny too, like being on the road with Trey and with Muscadine. Muscadine, we used to plan sound checks, and obviously it was a night game. There's nothing you can do about that because you got a show. But like Saturdays on the road with them, we'd make sure that whatever venue we were in had the TV on the Auburn Tigers football game.
Dude,
They're
Auburn
they're diehard Auburn fans. And then when I was with Trey, we're in the bus and the Bama game had to be on.
Yeah, where's he from?
Trey is from Birmingham.
Okay,
And the
that's right.
Muscadine guys are from Mobile.
Okay, cool.
So
Okay,
I've worked
I
with
got
a
to go
lot
to
of
Mobile for the first time back in February.
Soul Kitchen.
Yeah, played Soul
So-
Kitchen with Zach.
So it's funny that room. So I love the folks down there.
Mhm.
I love Mobile. It's a cool spot to be, and it's like a cool city because it has that kind of New Orleans feel to it.
Yeah,
It's where Mardi Gras, technically Mardi Gras happened in Mobile before it happened in New Orleans.
that's what they told us. So whenever we played there, it was like the week after all that.
Oh yeah, but
So it was-
recovering.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody kind of looked like zombies walking around. But yeah, we met this guy and he was kind of telling us all about it. It was really interesting, really cool place.
Yeah, so that's where. So it's funny. Soul Kitchen is where Muscadine kind of got their start.
Really?
That stage that's in the front room, that's like the merch area now.
Yeah.
They used to play acoustic duo there, and
Oh,
that was like
sweet.
their thing. And then Charlie had a show. I forget if it was in the front room or the back room. Just as Charlie Muncaster, and someone had linked him up with Gary, and Gary opened the show.
Really?
And that's how, kind of like how you and Will are like
Yeah.
buddies. And turned out they hadn't really known of each other, and they grew up like a couple streets apart from each other.
See, how cool is that?
But yeah,
the Strays are from right there too,
Yep,
right?
yep, yeah. Red Clay Strays are from down there in Mobile.
Man, they're
Like,
unreal.
there's a lot of musical history that's come out of that town. But Soul Kitchen, Gary and Charlie used to say, was like their Madison Square Garden. Like they always want, and they've since sold out that back room a number of times over the years. But it's a cool. Was it raining when you were down there? Because it's always fucking raining.
It wasn't. Actually, maybe it
Every
did rain a little bit.
time
Actually.
I'm in Mobile,
Yeah, it was definitely dreary.
I've been in the summer, I've been in the winter, I've been all different times of year. Every time it is fucking
Yeah, we played it in
raining.
February, man. I feel like January, end of January, early February. I feel like is the most just like depressing time of year.
Yeah, everything's
like-
dark.
Yeah, it's all just
It's
gloomy, man. You wake up, I'm like,
gloomy.
I just want to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it. I think it did rain while we were there. Actually, now that you say that.
It rains every time that I am in Mobile.
Hmm.
Every time. And I want to get Nicky down there. Like that's
He's never
something
been?
that's been no, he hasn't been to most of the southern places, dude. I've been spoiled in that I spent 4 years on the road going all over the country that I've gotten to see like all those clubs that you've named that you've played with Zach. I've been in all of those.
Oh, I'm sure,
rooms.
yeah.
Like, and is there one that really stands out to you? Like, obviously, I know playing a show in South Georgia is really cool and special, but
Yeah, I am. Which and Zach's kind of doing the club thing and the like listening room thing. You know, I played
Yeah.
Eddie's with him. Played what was that place called in Gainesville, Florida?
High Dive.
No, it was gosh, I'm not gonna be able to think of it. Soundstage or Heartwood Soundstage.
Okay.
It's like it's a listening room, really cool. And it's kind of cool to see that like the difference.
Yeah.
Like, because clubs, people bought tickets to come, but man, those those club shows get pretty freaking wild.
Yeah.
And then the listening rooms are more like kind of just, I don't want to say quiet because they still get pretty wild, especially at a country show, but there's a little bit different energy, and it's cool to see both of them because I enjoy both of them a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's why, I've learned a lot from playing these shows with Zach recently and kind of feeling everything out. But yeah, I loved Wendell's. Loved it. It's my kind of place.
Yeah. The first time I went to Wendell's, we had a rough, and I've told this story on here before, but like it was with Trey. It was Dick Down in Dallas times. It was 2021. COVID is still a thing in the rest of the country, but not in the Southeast.
Yeah, nobody cared about that.
Nobody cared. It was wild. But we had Ella Langley Ella spent a lot of time on the road with us opening up.
Really?
So it's amazing to see where she's at now and everything. She's like our little sister, and she would travel in the van with us. We'd be
cool.
in Trey's 4350. And there'd be 10 of us piled in there counting Ella, and we'd be every row would be busy and be packed up. But we did Milledgeville, Georgia, and Anderson, South Carolina, back-to-back nights, and we had a time in Milledgeville. It was chaos, where the night just got out of hand. We had a bunch of issues that night.
I think you told me about this.
Yes, I've told you that story. And then the next night was Wendell's. And Wendell's, we had a girl pass out in the bathroom we had the bar packed. And it was like, something with like the permit that they had for at that time was to like be a restaurant. Because, it's a small place.
Yeah.
But we probably had like 600 or 700 people in there. And it was like they were running on like a restaurant license. And there was a girl passed out. She ended up not being old enough to be in there. So the cops came and then were like, well, you guys are supposed to be a restaurant. What are 700 kids doing in here? And it was just building up, and like Ella was up there opening solo acoustic, and somebody threw a beer bottle at her. Missed her, but just wild shit. And then we had to stop the show. Like the show had to get canceled, but Trey got up there and played a 10-minute version of Dick Down in Dallas. And then we did a meet and greet out front, and it was just like a guerrilla style meet and greet, just chaos, no help from anybody. It was just a wild night.
Yeah.
And I've been to Wendell since then, and I love Jackie and the whole team that's out there. But
we didn't have that kind of night the other night.
No, and we had them back-to-back nights. And it was like a trailer tire getting slashed in fucking Milledgeville, and driving up to Anderson.
You did tell me about that.
Yeah, dude, it was a wild weekend. But then we've been to Anderson. I haven't been back to Milledgeville.
Oh, really? I haven't been there since. Haven't been to Milledgeville since. Last September. I opened 3 shows for Austin Snell.
Oh, how was that?
Really cool. Austin's a great dude.
That's a different kind of vibe for you too.
Yeah, and he's a Georgia boy.
Yes.
From Dublin.
Yep.
And it was him and Lauren Watkins, and I opened the first 3 shows of that tour, and nothing but good things to say about them.
You've gotten to open for a bunch of people now. Like you've gotten to not just open, but open consistently with people. Like do full runs of shows, not just be the local.
Yeah,
opener
I've been
Statesboro.
blessed, and it that's kind of how I've made some other connections with other people around town, and it's just through being on the road and meeting with those people, and hey, meet so and so, or hey, this is so and so, or hey, this is Cole. So that kind of thing has been really good to me, and like I said, I can't thank those people enough for having me out to do that stuff.
Yeah. Now you having like your Instagram bio, like believer, like you're a man of faith and stuff.
Totally.
How important is that? Because I grew up going to church, and like I was an altar server and usher. Like I was involved in the Episcopal Church and stuff. I've been in like a church for like weddings and funerals and stuff since then. But like it's just not something that's in my life personally. But I know down here, obviously, like the Bible Belt and like all of that, like it's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it is very important to me, and always has been. But it obviously being gone every weekend, it's hard to get in church consistently.
But I'm sure
you're
still reading scripture on your phone.
I got the Bible app.
Stuff.
The Bible app it helps me a bunch, and it and I'm sure everybody that's started out doing this stuff knows that. Man, there's so much that goes on that doesn't get brought to light that like you could fall into, and I haven't, because I'm very strong-willed and stubborn and stuck in my ways, but. Man, anything that I can, keep in the back of my mind to keep me grounded, I'm going to do that. So, the Bible app, it sends me, verse of the day every day, and you can click on it and read that whole chapter, that came from, so, and highlight that and make little notes. So even if, and I still, whenever I'm home, like I went to church last week, and I've been good recently about going on Wednesday nights, in Statesboro. My little sister goes to Georgia Southern, and some of her friends and some of my buddies are still there. And, I've gone the past couple Wednesday nights with them to church. But, if I'm in town, I try to make it, but it's hard to make it on Sundays anymore.
But with all the stuff going on in your life, like it's happening right now. Like Cole Goodwin, the country singer, it's happening. Like this is a glimpse into like your future, and you think you're busy now, but like where you're having to make these decisions and having these meetings, how important is having that faith and having that
very important, man.
That belief system just in yourself and just guiding you through everything.
Yeah, I don't sleep much anymore just because there's so much going on the past few months. So much to think about and so much to navigate through and balance. And it's been an adjustment. So I end up tossing and turning all night laying in bed. But man, my parents told me, if you can just lay down and close your eyes, just talk to God like He's a friend, you can drift off to sleep, and it does. It's true. It helps. That and NyQuil. So, yeah, man, Jesus and NyQuil. But
Jesus and NyQuil.
Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, man, it's very important to me and always will be. So, I try to keep that above everything because without it, what are we? So.
Yeah, especially in the world today.
Totally.
There's a lot of
chaos
in the world.
If any time needs it the most, it's this time. So, yeah,
Yeah. Does that factor into like your songwriting? Like I feel
totally,
like with your writing, you write songs that I've shown your stuff to my girlfriend Erin, and like it's stuff that I can play in the car with her and her daughter Charlotte.
Totally,
and like
man.
It's just wholesome music that makes you feel good. It makes you feel something. Like if you're writing like a heartbreaking song, like your style of stuff is so like for country music fans. It's that essential. Like, there's no questioning if Cole Goodwin's country, which I hate.
Thank
that
you,
whole
man.
argument of like, this ain't country, this ain't that, blah, 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 blah. Like, I hate all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like your stuff is like clearly like you're a country music singer and songwriter.
Thank you, man.
No denying that.
Thank you. I try to just write what I know, and I try not to be anybody else. I tell people all the time, there's nobody else on this earth that's better at being Cole Goodwin than I am. So
Yeah.
I try to own that, man, and just hone in on it and be the best that I can be, the best version of myself that I can be. But I don't know. I just am who I am, and I try to portray that through my writing. But and I write a bunch of stuff by myself. I'm still fairly new to the whole co-writing thing.
Yeah, what's that been like? Because I'm sure like you've written with Will and like you've written with like your boys back home, but there's nights where you're out in the woods or you're driving alone in the truck.
Man, I T-Swifted a lot of times. I'll end up sitting on my bedroom floor, just like sitting on the corner of my bed and like hash one out. Or I get man, the shower is a great place to get ideas.
Yeah?
But dude, I can't tell you how many times I've had an idea in the shower and like jumped out and dried off really fast and like wrote half a song or a whole song with like water dripping out of my hair and stuff. It's crazy, man. I don't know, and it's crazy where inspiration comes from and when it hits you. But I've learned you definitely don't want to turn a blind eye to it or push it away. When it comes, let it happen. But I don't know, man. I'm very selective about who I write with. I've learned that, and I try to make sure that it's kind of in my lane and kind of what I want to do. And Will's one of those guys that we always end up in a room together.
Yeah.
So we're from essentially the same area down in Georgia, but anytime we end up in town together, we always end up in a room together, and I think that's so funny. But and it's funny how you kind of gravitate towards those that you're comfortable with. But yeah, man, I've been really blessed, and the people that I have written with have been so good to me and so welcoming. Ray and Cole, those guys.
Yeah,
have been,
what was the first interaction with those guys like? Because as a country music fan, because at the end of the day, you love this stuff.
Yeah,
like
totally.
you are a country music fan, and growing up in Georgia as a country music fan, you've heard of guys and looked up to guys like Ray Fulcher, like Cole Taylor, like John Langston, Jordan Rager, Dylan Marlowe, Rhett Akins, Dallas Davidson, like all these guys now getting to be in a room with them and
Totally.
having them give you props. Like what is that? What was that first interaction with? We call Ray Fulcher Payday Ray.
Oh, really?
We call him Payday Ray. He's been in the Ray's Rowdy family for a long time.
Cool. Yeah. He man, they're just just down to earth guys. Georgia boys, easy to get along with. Welcomed me right in, and they didn't have to do that. Little old me. They didn't know who I was, and I I showed up, and I think we had the room for like 2 hours, and we talked about turkey hunting for the first 30 minutes, and then Cole had an idea, and we hashed it out in like an hour and 15 minutes. Dude, he's so quick. He's just like, just rattling stuff off. But I tried my best to keep up, and that you can learn so much from being in a room with two just master classes like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it again with him. But
heck yeah, you got rights this week?
Yeah, got one to actually when I leave here, and then another one tomorrow. So then I don't know what I got Wednesday.
Who you running with today?
Today, Jack Hummel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you met him before?
I have not. No, he hit me up on Instagram.
Jack's a good dude.
Really?
Jack's
he seems like
a good dude. Tell him that you did this podcast.
I did. Yeah, I told him,
before.
I was like, man, I'm gonna try to make it on time. I was like, I'm coming straight from Matt's podcast.
Yeah, we've known Jack for a long time, and he's a good dude and knows what he's doing. So I'm excited to hear what you boys come out with.
Cool. Yeah, I try to kind of I try to Instagram stalk people that I haven't met yet.
Dude, that's how
man, he seems like a great guy.
Dude, it's funny. Like it shows our age difference a little bit. Like I was the Instagram DMing and all of that, especially when you're out of town. For me, it was Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
I was a Facebook
I'm so bad at Facebook
guy.
Messenger. People tell me all the time. They'll see me. They'll be like, dude, I sent you a message on Facebook 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
you're living in a small town. Facebook,
dude, I don't see that.
Facebook is as big as the Google machine in a small town. Facebook
and actually,
is
it's funny you say that. I still use Facebook a lot. Actually, that's how I keep up with my parents' friends.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm probably a bigger Facebook fan than I'm an Instagram fan.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, there's so much BS on Instagram and whatnot. Man, Facebook's just real people that you talk to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I love getting on Facebook. But yeah, anytime I'm like meeting with somebody and I know their name, I've talked to them on the phone, but I'm not exactly sure what they look like. I'm gonna go to Facebook and type in their name, see if I can get a image to put to them. But I love Facebook.
It definitely helps, brother. Where are some spots in Nashville that you've enjoyed going to so far?
Which I'm sure Josh, Terry, and then they always give me a bunch of mess because I don't stay out with them late. But
well, even the places. Like,
yeah,
I'm talking
dude,
about.
I'm a big Live Oak fan.
I'm talking about like the places where you've gotten to play or like hang out or gotten to network or.
Yeah, I love chilling at Live Oak. That's my speed.
Yeah,
just being able to just chill, and essentially in the grand scheme of things around here, be quiet, and kind of just low key and hang out and visit with people. That's my kind of thing. Because even back home, I'm not out shoulder to shoulder in a club, partying. I'm at the local watering hole, sitting on a bar stool, or sitting in a booth, talking to three buddies.
Yeah. What are some food spots you like up here? Have you gotten to go out and do a bunch of that yet?
Chick-fil-A.
Jeez, you gotta open your horizons.
I know,
boy.
man. I know. No, we ate at a place. Me and Will, and his guitar player Benji. We ate at a place last time we were here, man. What was that place called? It was a barbecue place.
Was it Martin's or Edley's or?
I think it was Martin's.
Martin's,
dude.
Yeah.
It was off the chain.
Tennessee's got some good barbecue.
Yeah. So, and I love barbecue.
Yeah, you're gonna. That's something you should turn into your content when you're out on the road.
Barbecue.
Because you're going to all these different towns in the Southeast, and every place.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Like when there was I think 2 weeks straight when I was out with Trey, where like you get like your catering or like the venue like provides the food, and we were going to all these different small towns across the Midwest and the Southeast, and they were like, "Man, we got the best barbecue that you've ever had."
Everybody says that.
You're about to eat the best barbecue in Milledgeville, Georgia. You're about to eat the best barbecue in Jackson, Mississippi. So. All these towns you're going to
really put it to the test.
There's hole in the wall barbecue joints. You should just start going and trying the different barbecue.
Hey, don't put it past me, man. If I've got time,
when you're at the barbecue joint, what are you getting?
Most time pulled pork sandwich is always.
You're a pork sandwich guy.
Yeah.
And then what are you getting on as your sides? What are your fixins?
I mean, obviously, fries is a safe bet. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, but you can get that at a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A or anywhere else.
That's why, man, whenever I'm at a barbecue joint, I love if they've got, like, baked beans or something.
Yes.
Dude, that's right up my alley.
Yeah,
a pulled pork sandwich and baked beans and, like, a sweet tea. And I don't mean, like, just a sweet tea. I mean, like like a curl your lip sweet tea, like taste the sugar sweet tea, dude. That's my jam.
Yeah, you should be going to all these small towns and just trying the different barbecue.
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
Because that's you.
Yeah, and I'm sure that my guys would be totally on board with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be down to stop at a barbecue joint. I mean,
well, dude, that's my biggest thing. Like, whenever I meet a new person, it's like, if you don't like barbecue, chances are
we're not going to get along.
Yeah, I mean, we can be cordial, but
yeah,
I don't know. If we don't have barbecue in common, do we really have that much in common? I mean, yeah, it's.
What's a piece of advice you'd give to someone that is starting, like, you've been doing this now for a few years, but you're still not even like fully up here yet. And there's so many guys and girls that are in that situation that may not have been blessed with the opportunities and done the legwork that you've been able to do so far. But like someone listening or watching back home in XYZ small town, and they're starting to do the thing and trying to figure out if they want to start taking trips out here to Nashville.
Yep.
What's something you would tell that person?
I love this question, man. Like I said, I'm still new to it, and I'm still learning every time I'm here and every day, even when I'm back home. But my biggest thing, and the thing that I always tell myself, is stay true to yourself. Be stubborn, be yourself, and don't be afraid to be yourself, and don't care, what other people think of that, and don't rush it, man. Make sure you know who you are before you go putting yourself out, to the public and to other people.
So who is Cole Goodwin?
Man, I that's a tough question. I am who I am, dude. I got nothing to hide. I'm not a big flashy person.
No, you're very much not, and that's something that I know a lot of people, because I've had people ask, like, you're in the Raised Rowdy family.
Yeah, man, totally.
You have been since we met you, and we've had some good times together, and we've had a lot of people kind of circling around being like, hey, tell us about this Cole Goodwin kid. Hey, tell us about this guy. Tell us about what he's got going on. What do you think of Cole Goodwin? I'm like, well, you got to see him play. You got to, like, his stuff speaks for itself. And I'm so excited. Tell us about this new song you've been working on with Ryan.
Yeah, dude. So I did 5 with Ryan, and the first
5 songs. Yeah, let's go.
Did 5, and
beautiful.
The first one's coming out this month, April 19th. It's available for pre-save and pre-order right now. But 2 weeks, I think, is the 19th, and that's when it'll be out. It's called When You Get Home. Me and Will wrote it in Nashville back in November, and just kind of accidentally wrote it in like 20 minutes. And we played it for 2 of the guys that were hanging out at the Airbnb, and one of them happened to video it on the back porch, put it on TikTok, and it got like 100,000 views overnight or something.
Wow.
And I suck at TikTok, and I'm like, whoa, like, that is sick. So, and then I posted on my TikTok, and it did really well, and people were like, man, cut it. And ever since we wrote it, man, it just felt like one of those, there's those songs that you write that you never get tired of playing, never get tired of singing. And it's one of them, dude. I love it with everything in me. And it's so, I mean, it's a heartbreak song, but it's so my speed, dude. Old classic sounds. We've got a steel guitar and it got a fiddle in it. And I just love it, man. So we did that when we finished it up earlier this year. And he knocked it out of the park, dude. Everything that I had in my mind, he captured that. So I'm so excited about it.
Now,
and it's opened so many doors for me already, and it's not even out yet. Man, people, it's crazy. I feel like every day I wake up, somebody else has covered it on TikTok. It's like, it's insane. And people have been singing it back to me on the road, 4, 5, 6, 8 hours from home, which is insane to me, doing these shows with Zach, and every night to be able to look out and see people that I don't recognize, that, I don't know them, and they know my music, from social media, is insane to me, and nothing but a blessing. So
now tell me about the song that Nikki T and Mama Bear.
Oh yeah, so
so
I think that's the second single that's coming out after this one in a few months or a couple months. But yeah, Down in the Country, I wrote it by myself one night in my garage at home at my parents' house, and fell out in like 30-45 minutes, and I was so excited about it. Actually, my whole family was home that night, and it was late. It was like after midnight. I was in the garage writing it, and there's a line in the second verse of that song. It says, talking about like a cornfield. It says, "First dip, first." Shit, how does the line go? First dip, first kiss, first. I don't even know the line off the top of my head, but I just sang it right off the top of my head, and immediately I was like, "Heck yeah! Like, let's go!" And my sister came outside. She was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "I'm good." I was like, "I promise I'm good." So. Yeah, man, I'm so excited about that one. I wrote it all about, my past 4 years in Statesboro, and kind of doing that thing, and it yeah, it's true to my life too. So I'm really excited about it. But yeah, Nikki T and my mom, at the end of the second verse, it says yeehaw at the end of it, and there's like a big group yeehaw, and it's really just like 20 different vocal tracks of my mom and Nikki T screaming yeehaw. Yeah, so shout out them too. But yes, I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome, bro. Well, dude, I appreciate you taking the time to come on
Man,
here.
thank you.
And you're somebody that we really believe in, and seeing good guys like yourself winning, and seeing what you're doing, seeing what our mutual buddy Will Mosley's doing, and seeing it all just kind of grow from when we had first met you to now, and where it's going to be this time next year, you know, like where it's going to be a few months from now. Like you've put in a lot of hard work, and
totally.
Good things happen to good people, and you happen to be a great person. So
thank you, man.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Likewise.
Dude, yeah, we appreciate you, and love that you rep our stuff, and love that you're somebody like we think of like our raised rowdy kids, and you're one of them.
Man, I tell people it's easy to rep good people, man. It's easy to support and rep good folks.
Awesome, man. Well, that's amazing. We appreciate that. Where can people go to find you, and plug the single one more time?
Yeah, man. Cole Goodwin Music. Goodwin, not Goodman. Bunch of people tend to get that confused. Yeah, they call me Goodman, but
well, you are a good man.
I try to be. So hey, I guess. But yeah, Cole Goodwin on Cole Goodwin Music on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, and Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can get your music. April 19th is when the single's coming out, available for pre-save and pre-order now. So super excited about it.
Heck yeah. And what's the name of the single again?
When You Get Home.
When You Get Home.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I'm so excited for it.
Shout out Josh Terry's dog, too. He's on the cover. Yeah, the cover art is Josh's dog. Last time we were up in town, I was like, man, I need a basset hound or a cool-looking dog for the cover of this thing, because the second verse, or the first verse talks about, sitting alone on the couch, and the second verse talks about the dog not recognizing the girl anymore because she's never around. And I was like, man, I need a dog and a couch. So I got the dog from Josh. But yeah, man, awesome. We're pumped for it. So,
that's awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, man.
Y'all be sure to check out our boy, Mr. Cole Goodwin. You got shows still coming up, too?
Yeah.
You got more stuff on the road?
Yeah, we're out next few weeks, and then we kind of peel it back a little bit. When festival season starts, we're kind of peeling it back a little bit, and I'll be around home for a while, playing a bunch of acoustic stuff and soaking up a little bit of summer fishing. But
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. So yeah, but yeah, definitely staying busy. But yeah, we're on the road for the next few weeks. Like I said, out with Peyton Smith this weekend, and then doing some headline stuff after that. But
let's go.
So we're stoked. Are you going to be at Gata Jam in Statesboro?
I will not be.
Okay, because I'll be there hanging out.
Because I think there's something else going on within the festival thing where we're at another.
Gotcha.
Event.
Yeah, I know that's kind of when everything picks up. But.
Yeah, I forget where the heck we're at. I forget if we're in Key West or we're at the Auburn Rodeo. What's the weekend of Gata Jam?
The 20th, April 20th.
Yeah, we'll be in Auburn,
okay.
or Opelika, Alabama, with Parker McCollum and Flatland Cavalry. So,
cool, man.
Which will be a cool one. But y'all be sure to check out our boy Cole Goodwin. New song coming out soon. Y'all be sure to pre-save the heck out of it. Or it'll be out by the time this podcast comes out, because I'm like banking podcasts right now.
Heck yeah.
So the song will be out by now. So y'all just go and stream the hell out of the song.
Thank you.
And be sure to check out our boy Cole Goodwin. Thank you guys as always for watching, listening. For more on us, you can visit raisedrowdy.com, and be sure to subscribe, rate, and tell your mama and them. And be on the lookout when we have Cole playing our events in town, or if you're down in the Southeast. It's worth the trip to Statesboro to go and see him, or wherever he's playing. We believe a lot in this kid, and happy to call him a brother and a friend. Well, for my man Cole Goodwin, I'm Matt Burrill. This has been Outside the Round.